Batman meets Superman for the first time. Lex Luthor boards the plane and takes off from Metropolis, heading towards Gotham City, but he can't help but admire the city from above, remarking that it never looks more magnificent than when seen from the sky. He wonders if Superman feels the same when seeing the city from above. Does he see the greatest city on the planet, or does he merely look down on it? The plane lands safely, and Lex exits. He is greeted by a limousine and a man in a sharp, tailored suit. It is Bruce Wayne who welcomes him to Gotham City. The next day, Alfred drives Lex back to the airport and says he enjoyed their afternoon together. He apologizes for Master Bruce's behavior, but Lex tells him he doesn't need to defend him. Bruce is who he is. Lex compliments Alfred and asks when his contract ends. Alfred is flattered, but his loyalty to Bruce is strong, something Lex greatly admires. On his way back, Lex recalls sitting in the restaurant, waiting for Bruce Wayne to arrive, while reading the newspaper headline, "Batman Nabs Kidnappers." Eventually, Bruce shows up a few minutes early, much to Lex's surprise. He apologizes for leaving early at last night's dinner, saying he had urgent matters to attend to. Lex can't help but notice that Bruce has a black eye and is wearing glasses to cover it, but he avoids the subject with a humorous comment. The waiter arrives, and Bruce remarks that he is one of the best chefs in Gotham. The chef offers the menu, but Bruce insists on recommending something special for Lex. He tells the chef to bring them a couple of medium-rare steaks and a bottle of 91 Montebello wine, remarking that it's easier to talk when wine is invited to the table. Back on the plane, Lex talks to himself, saying he wants to like Bruce Wayne, not just because Bruce purposely tries to be unlikable, but maybe because he exudes a certain animal magnetism. Perhaps Lex is jealous of that, and of Bruce's lifestyle. Either way, he feels drawn to it. Back at the restaurant, the two of them enjoy a delicious dinner. Bruce asks Lex why he wanted to see him. Lex explains that Thomas Labs has made a groundbreaking breakthrough in Alzheimer's research, and he wants access to the technology. Bruce, jokingly, replies, "It doesn't grow hair, if that's what you're thinking about." Bruce is curious, though, and asks what it's worth to Lex. Lex says it's worth the world because he wants to save it. Lex claims the dragon is real. He stood next to it. Hell, he stood up to it, and asks Bruce if he can say the same thing. But Bruce has never met Superman. You don't meet it, it meets you head-on. But Superman is anything but natural. Bruce says that Superman has a name, yet Lex keeps referring to him as it. Lex responds, saying they gave him a name to humanize him, just as pointlessly as naming a hurricane. Bruce is happy he's on their side, but what happens if one day he decides to change his mind? What if tomorrow Superman wakes up and decides he knows what's best for humans? He could rule the entire world, and all they'd have to protect them is his word. Bruce ponders what choice do they have. There's nothing they can do about it. But Lex says he's asking the wrong question. What he should be asking is, what can they choose to do about it? Lex reaches inside his jacket and pulls out a small case. Bruce, curious, asks what it is. It's kryptonite, the only thing that can weaken or hurt Superman. Lex gives it to Bruce willingly, with no strings attached, even though Bruce had refused to share Thomas Labs' research. Lex considers it the perfect gift for the man who has everything, except a care in the world. Bruce says he can afford not to accept the gift, but Lex insists, saying he can't. None of them can. The two billionaires end their meeting with Bruce telling Lex that he will never bring Superman down. He's too powerful, but Lex isn't interested in bringing Superman down. He is, however, obsessed with elevating humanity. Everyone deserves a chance at greatness, and all it takes is the belief that it exists. Sadly, Superman's existence threatens not just that belief, but humanity's future. Lex believes that when something real becomes mythic, it's dangerous. When that happens, people lose the part of themselves that yearns to be great. When faced with a myth, people can't win, so the myth must be exposed for what it truly is, so that people can believe in themselves. Superman saw something hidden in Batman's utility belt. It was the kryptonite Lex had gifted him. He gently reached out, pulled it from the belt, and stared at it in front of Batman before crushing it in his hand, turning it to dust. Later that night, after a near-deadly encounter with Superman, Batman picked up the phone and called Lex.
"Lex, Bruce Wayne here. You can have what you want."